Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls Politics, live from our Washington, D.C. studio drone. And it looks like that traffic is moving slow. People trying to get home. I don't know what time it is in D.C. I have to check out. I think they're on Eastern Standard Time. All right, then. I got my sidekick in the studio, Heartbeat of the South. And my every heartbeat. My son Tim Harrington. Hey Tim,
Hey, Ma,
how's it
how's everybody
going?
doing? All right.
All right then. Good to see ya.
Likewise.
And yeah, and I'm gonna share right quick to Messenger Live now to those that I like to watch our politics show because not
Okay.
everybody like politics, you know that, so I kind of scroll through and find the ones that I know that might be interested. Like our top fans, Sandra and Mary, Ed,
Yeah.
Marcus, and a few others there. Got a couple of Eds. Um, yeah, so anyhow, I would like to say happy belated birthday to your grandmother. Well,
Yes.
not belated, actually, happy birthday. Today is her birthday, has she been living.
Yes.
And she would have been 94.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was something. I had no idea
it's been that long.
that it was her birthday today because I didn't recognize it until you made your post.
June the 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah. June the 1st is her birthday and was her birthday. So,
Yeah.
yeah, has she been here and lived, she would have been 94. So, we want to wish her happy birthday. And
Absolutely.
I know
Yes.
she rested in peace.
Yeah, yeah. She on
But
Easy
she,
Street now.
yes, she had a lot of suffering on the last 10, 12 years of her life. So, I know she
Yes.
glad to be rid of that.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
let's see, and I want to thank my son for some beautiful roses that he gave me today. And
Yes.
so, you must have had a feeling that something was going on
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he
It was on my
just,
mind. It was on my mind when I first
yeah,
got up this morning.
yeah, we have such a strong psychic connection. So you must have had
Hmm.
some type of psychic connection about
Yeah,
your grandmother
yeah.
and just didn't realize what it was.
I believe so now.
I
Hmm.
believe so too, because I had forgot to remind you yesterday,
Yeah.
and then when you came and surprised me with those roses, and
Uh-huh.
after you left later on, a couple of hours later, I said to myself, today is Miss Daisy's birthday, and
Right.
I said, my goodness, I said Tim must have really felt something too, and didn't
Yeah.
realize what he was feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up I download the picture of it, y'all. That's what I'm doing now. And I'm gonna show you guys what a beautiful bouquet
Yeah.
of roses that my son surprised me with today. One thing I can say about my son, he sure does follow his mama's teaching. I always
Yes.
taught him I always taught him to give people their flowers while they live. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Hi, Mary. There they go. They coming in. Hey, Doug in the house. Mary in the house. All right, then.
Hey,
Uh,
y'all. Hey,
Doug, thanks
Mary.
for
Hey,
tuning
Doug.
in. Glad you're here so we can get some comments from you. And Doug say hello, Emily and Tim.
Hey,
Yeah.
Doug. Hey, Mary.
So, yeah, we're going to be rocking it. But the thing about it is that we just only give you a short show now. We do 30 minutes and try not to hold you too long simply because it's summer
Yeah.
and something just happened to my studio. Come on, Washington, what are y'all doing? Y'all not showing the people. Hmm. What happened? Oh! I said, mm, no. It's there. We go. We're back in. Thank you, Washington. Wait a minute. You keep taking us out and in. Washington, stop doing that. The drone. All right. I'm gonna open this file up, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do till they get situated. I don't know, it must be a little glitch or something with the drone going on, and I'll keep coming in and out. Okay, I got it back. Ah, gosh, now come on, I got time for all this here. All right, let's take a little break. Put the chat
Okay.
back up. Let me put the chat back up here. I got one in, then the chat disappeared. Um, hold on. I want that back in too. So, there's a sidebar that popped up here,
Hey, Kathy, how you
and
doing?
hey, Kathy, I'm trying to get. Hey, Kathy, all right. Yeah, I'm trying to get the studio organized here. I don't know what the heck's going on with it. A sidebar popped up, and I don't know why. That's what's causing everybody to every. Okay, woo! I finally got it, y'all. So now I can go ahead and bring up these roses right quick. I don't know what was going on with the studio. That Washington drone got stuff going on. I may have to turn it off. It might be too much interference.
It might
So
be.
yeah, it might be. Let me go ahead and share my beautiful roses so y'all can see them. I know that most of you guys have already seen them on Facebook, but seeing them in the studio on a real live screen, that's a super plus, because they're bigger. They get bigger, and I'm gonna zoom them up just a little bit so y'all can see that. All right, I'll be bringing it up momentarily. Then we're gonna go to a break. See, is it in the studio yet? Come on, you showing? Should be showing in the studio by now. I think our drone is taking up a lot of space.
Yes,
They got a
yeah, it
lot of
is.
traffic going. They got a lot of traffic going on in there. Because it's not popping up in my studio. Wait a minute, it's coming now.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah, we can see
There it
it.
is.
Yeah, we can
All
see
right,
it
there they
too.
go. All right
Yeah.
then. Those are the beautiful, 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 beautifulest roses that my son ever gave me.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was a really big, pretty bunch.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know where you found them.
Well,
They are just gorgeous.
well, if you believe it or not, there was only one left, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. Uh, it's like they had my
Did
name
it?
on it. Yeah, it was like it was just
They did
there.
have your name on
Yeah.
it. They did. All right, let's take a little quick break and then we'll
Okay.
come back.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be back, y'all. Sick of stay. We're not gonna hold you long. Okay.
I'd like to be what I am not. I should know better why not. Life is mine, it's a fact. I'd like to be what I am not. I should know better why not. Life is mine, it's a fact. Wake up in the morning and I picture myself flying in the sky. 'Cause I'm a bird, it's not a lie. And now that I'm diving through the oceans of my dreams, I want it so bad to become reality. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a daydreamer.
Okay, we're back. And we got delay going on, but that's okay. Kathy says so beautiful. And thank you, Kathy. And Doug says, yes, they are. Thank you, Doug. And Doug says they were meant for you to get, Tim.
Yeah, I
Uh
believe
huh.
that.
All right. All right. So we're gonna talk about national politics first. I understand that Donald did a press conference in Iowa. He was in Iowa today, but he's
Okay.
also doing a rally tonight at 8 o'clock, so we'll be off in time. If you guys want to check it out, he'll probably repeat some of the same things he did in Iowa. But the
Mm-hmm.
polls are saying that he is like, what is it, 30 or 40 points ahead of DeSantis.
Okay.
And that's his survival. But they did play an audio that he said that when you're running in a race like this, it's always best to take out the second place runner rather than going after the person that's running in eighth or ninth place.
Right.
So they must have asked him, why is he so hard on DeSantis? But that was his remark. I didn't hear the question, but I did see the transcript and heard his voice. It was him talking.
Okay.
But I kept waiting for him to go live, but Fox News is so doggone slow. Shoot, I got tired. I had to get to my series.
Right. Yeah. I know,
I
right?
had to get to my TV series, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, anyhow, it's right now. It's the battle of the candidates. That's what they call it now. The something was something else between, but it has to do with Trump and DeSantis.
Okay.
Between the two of them, they're saying that these are the two top runners.
Okay.
So DeSantis um, has a couple of things going from him that some conservatives like, and they say they think that some independents like it. His viewpoints on things, and he might be able to draw some Democrats, those Democrats that really don't want to have Joe in there again, but would like, somebody other than Donald. All right.
Yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but on the other hand, there might be a package coming, Tim. On
Might
the
be.
other hand, uh, there's the majority of conservatives are saying that that doesn't really matter
Okay.
because, hi Linda, thanks for joining us. That
Something
that
like that.
doesn't really matter because everybody already knows what Trump can do and has
Right.
already set the record.
Right. And I
Uh,
agree. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that we when he was in, we wasn't in the wartime. We did
Right.
not have the inflation up high, gas was low. People had money because
Yeah. We did.
even though we was going through a crisis with COVID, he made sure that the small people,
Right.
the poor people had money by doing the hey, I'm trying to broadcast here.
That's gotta be there.
Tim, I'll let you tell me what your opinion on it while I get out the
Okay.
studio for a minute.
Okay. Well, here's my opinion on that. I feel that we the people were actually tricked with President Biden's running campaign because we have to remember this guy ran from his basement because COVID was going on, right? So I feel that I don't think we the American people are going to take a gamble on someone that's not experienced in that position um, at all. You know, that's a serious gamble to take when you're talking about 4 more years of a new president, if that was the case. I feel that with President Trump, he's been in the trenches, he's been battle tested. We know what he can do. We know how he operates. He really has a zero tolerance policy. Um, and that's what we need right now. We need somebody strong because right now other countries are looking at us and looking at us to be we are looking very very weak and very very vulnerable right now, and that's not a good look. You know, So I don't think that the American people uh, is going to take another chance on a new guy coming into a position like that at such a critical time. So, like I said, been battle tested. We know what he can do. We know what he will do. So yeah, that's my opinion on that, mom.
All right, so we got a comment from Doug. Doug says it was a gusty move for DeSantis to pass this law of requiring documentation of
Yes.
migrant workers. Okay, I don't know exactly which documentation are you referring to. Can you kind of let us know, and we can elaborate? But I do know that he did take a stand on the migrants, the immigrants coming in, using up the money,
Yes.
for benefit wise. And like
Right.
I said last week, uh, even across the spectrum of Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, a lot of people like that because we have people suffering that are native citizens, U.S. born citizens that are poor. And just because they might work 40 hours, they cannot even receive food stamp supplements to help them to feed their family because they might make $1 or $2 over the amount allowed for a family of their number, which
Mhm.
to me is highly something wrong with that picture. And I
Okay.
also heard on today that on the new deal that they passed, the debt ceiling,
Yes.
they have put in, they have expanded the work requirement. They put that back into effect. They claimed that it was there already, but it was not. It had been off for a while, and
Okay.
so they said that they put the requirement in for people that are 49. They first they said 49, but then they also extended it to 54 and younger.
Okay.
Must be working 40 hours a week, prove that they're working. I don't know if that's going to always be the case about the 40 hours, but here's a problem with that. Like I just said, if you're one person with this inflation, utility bills, gas, everything costing more, and you got to pay rent, it's just you and you struggling.
Yeah.
You can't get food stamps because you might make more than $600 a month. And I think like that's in Tennessee, that's probably like the limit that you
Hmm.
could make for one person to receive
Okay.
food stamps. And then the deal of it is that if you qualify for it within that $600 range, or so let's say, you might make the 589 a
Hmm.
month. Well, they only gonna give you about $11 or $12 worth of food stamps.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that really that's really uh, okay. Doug has clarified. He says that if they are legally in the country, okay. But you know what, Doug? I'll tell you something. If you have watched how other countries operate with immigrants, whether they are legal or not, they are required to show their papers when they go places. If asked by law enforcement or government, they have to show papers to prove that they are legally there in their country. So I
Hmm.
don't have a problem with that. So like I said, the DeSantis does have some points that people might like. On the other hand, Doug says, I hope Trump puts a stop to the Republicans always uses social services cuts to help cut
Yeah.
the deficit.
Well,
Now,
yeah.
I do agree with you there. Let's give a
Well,
round of applause for that because
yeah.
that's what I'm
Well,
talking about.
as I was stating earlier, I was saying that I believe that we were actually tricked when President Biden was running for office. He ran from his basement. DeSantis, he has some attributes, I would say. But I just don't think that the American people, we the American people, are going to take a chance again on a guy that hasn't done that position. We
Well,
know what
half of his own party don't want to take a chance on him.
exactly,
They
exactly.
won't say it, but it's pretty obvious.
Right. So here's my thing. There's not a question of what Donald Trump would do when it comes to immigration. We've seen it. He's
Yeah, we
proved it.
need somebody that's assertive. And to
Absolutely.
me, DeSantis is not going to be assertive enough for
He's
what's
not.
going on right now.
No.
Now, if it was a calm atmosphere in the country,
That would be
per,
different.
and worldwide, perhaps.
Right.
But right now, we got to deal with Russia. We got to deal with China. We
Oh
got
yeah.
to deal with home.
Yes.
Stuff on the home front messed up.
Right.
Crime is out of hand in
right.
all the cities. And
And and let me add to that right quick. It- Folks, I know you all probably already know it's happened again. Commander in Chief, President Biden fell down again today.
fail for real.
Fell down on stage.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, he
I'm
fell down
sorry
on
for
stage.
him.
He was at an Air Force graduation. Uh,
Oh, poor thing.
and they're still trying to reassure us, saying that his health is up to par.
It
Uh,
could be.
and we
Mm-hmm.
see this man deteriorating before our eyes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we're looking real vulnerable, very weak right now to other countries.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it does.
particularly Russia.
Oh yeah, let's not forget
you know,
China.
and the thing about it is, people when Trump was in, they were saying that he was sucking up to Putin, but that wasn't the case at all.
No,
Because here's the deal: when you're in public, you have to act nice. When you got 80 cameras on you, right?
right,
Yeah, when you got, you're visiting that country over there, or you got the king over here visiting you.
right,
You got to act nice in front of the cameras. But here's the deal: nobody knows what goes on when they're sitting down one on one, and
right,
they all sit down one on one. All right.
right.
So
Behind the scenes.
something strong had to be going on when they met one on one and nobody in the room but them, simply because we never had a problem out of Putin the whole while that Donald was in.
Yeah,
We
and
never had a problem with President Xi from China the whole time Donald was in. So
right,
see what goes on behind closed doors, the media don't get that. They can't show that. So I'm knowing
yeah,
all the time. That's why I tell y'all, look, use your own noggin up here on your head. Um,
right,
when the cameras are on you, you can hate a person's guts, but you have to appear like you like them when you're the commander in chief, right?
right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. I mean, I concur with that. I feel that um, amongst their conversations, that I'm gonna use a little street term here. I just feel that it was a situation of real recognizing real.
That's
You,
right. That's right.
you understand what I mean? Whether it be
Yeah.
politics, gangsterism, or what have you, it
Yeah.
was the acknowledgement was there is that this guy's the real deal.
They had respect
Yeah, they had
for
a
each
mutual.
other,
Right,
but they wasn't scared of each other either.
right.
Say, and that's the way you get along with your enemy. As
Yeah,
long as your enemy respects you and enough to know that you will and have the power to make them fear you, then
uh-huh.
you're not gonna have a problem with them. I don't care how tough they are. They
I
are,
agree. I
you
agree.
know. Okay,
Hmm.
so Doug, thank you so much for your comments tonight. Doug says, well, actually, governors are the most qualified as a whole because they are the president of running a state government and budget. But in this election, Trump has proven to have a backbone of steel.
That's true.
That's a good one there. We'll put a laugh on it.
That's true.
but it is true. It is
Yes,
true.
true statement.
Yeah, it is true because people believe what they see with their eyes.
They do.
They cannot say it. They might not can say it solely because they don't want to be hated on, by their family, friends, and associates and
Hmm.
co-workers. And it's and we in a bad. My topic for the day was humanity has forgotten the meaning of the word humanity. We
Okay.
have
Yeah.
forgotten. So this is a topic of this show. We have forgotten to how to be human to each other.
Yeah.
We are so uncourteous. We get so angry. We are so violent. The human race now,
Yes.
humanity has become so violent, become so nervous, and mental illness, and just a whole lot of things wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You're right, and a lot of that has to do with what you spoke on earlier. Yeah, people are barely making it. From one meal to the next. And we all know that pressure will bust some pipes. You
yeah,
know.
and I see what I see now is the government doing us, treating us like the the Caesars of Rome did,
Hmm. Hmm.
except for Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar took care of the people. That's why the
Yeah.
people loved Julius Caesar
Yeah.
and during the time of Rome.
Right.
But then you had Claudius come in, and you had these other ones, other rulers
Hmm.
that spent all the money on themselves and left the people starving and scraping, and they hated them. And
Yeah.
even the senators hated them.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Sounds
know,
familiar.
yeah, and so they assassinated them. The Senate
Yeah.
assassinated them.
Yeah.
Uh, and vice versa. Caesar cared about the people, and people. The time of Rome was the happiest
Let it
time.
ask Caesar. Yeah.
Yeah, but Claudius came in. Claudius wasn't the one that I was talking about. Caligula was the one that was crazy.
Hmm.
They called him the mad ruler, the mad
Okay.
emperor,
Right.
because he was the one that had starved the people, and they rose up against him.
Yeah.
And yeah, but then I watched a documentary about Caligula. um, he had a very abusive childhood. His father was a general, so he was next in line to be emperor. But his
Hmm.
father was assassinated.
Hmm.
His father was killed, and then therefore he was stripped
Okay.
of his right, and then he was adopted by um, the other some relative. Anyhow, they kept him imprisoned, and they imprisoned his sisters and his mother. But anyhow, he and all of that early childhood stuff
Yeah.
and teenage stuff that he went through made him really crazy, made him have mental problems.
Right.
And so I see the government causing mental problems
Yes.
for the citizens of the United States, because you're depriving us, you're starving us right now. We can't make it. We can't afford to buy the things we need. We can't afford to pay
Yeah.
the rent where we live. We can't afford to pay the mortgage. Mortgage
Right.
just went up another 1.5% for homeowners on their
Right.
bills. So
Yeah. And-
this kind of people that can't handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And on top of that, we're watching in real time the red carpet being rolled out for immigrants. You
And the
know what I mean?
criminals,
To
and the
add,
criminals.
to add
Don't
injury to
forget the criminals.
insult.
Don't forget the criminals. The
Right.
criminals getting more rights now than the
Yeah.
victims, right?
Yeah.
All right. So back to our comments. Thank you so much, Doug. He said that he calmed Kim Jong Un. Oh yeah, he calmed him down because he told him that was so funny. Yeah, I gotta laugh about that, Doug. Thanks for bringing that up.
Mm.
We gotta have a laugh on that because they kept doing their comments across the news media. Kim Jong Un would call him something, and Donald wouldn't back down. Donald would call him something to name back. And
Yeah.
DeSantis got a problem with Trump calling him names. Okay, come on, everybody. We know that's classic Trump.
Yeah.
Trump is gonna give you a nickname.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
kind of do that myself. Now, if
Yeah.
you ain't tough enough to take a nickname from Trump, you ain't tough enough to run this country. The way I see it,
Nah,
you know,
you're a long
you
way
got you
from
got
it.
to you got to be clever enough, smart enough, strong enough to make a comeback and come
Yeah.
back at it. Like we used to call it back in the day. We used to call it playing the dozens. Tim, you remember
Right.
playing the dozens? You
Yeah.
know, your mama
Mm-hmm.
did something, your mama this so and so so and so. Well, your
Uh-huh.
mama so and so so and so so and so, you know. But and then people would laugh, but it showed that the balance, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
In other words, yeah, I ain't scared of you cross the line. And then the other one say, no, I ain't scared of you cross the line.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ain't got enough backbone to come back at him, you ain't got enough backbone around this country. All
Yeah.
right, so Doug says Putin is cutting off the head of the snake. Ukraine is the deep state headquarters. If Trump had been elected, then this necessary action of Putin would have been taken down. I believe that he left off a word. Well, yeah, everybody know that that wouldn't have happened. Had he been, we wouldn't be even dealing with
We won't be in
Vladimir.
the position
We
we in.
wouldn't be dealing with Vladimir if if Trump was in. And so this is what the Democrats are still talking about January 6th. Let me tell you something. Here's what I think about January 6th. Do I fault Donald? No. Why? Because he made a political speech. That's all he did. You
Right.
know, these people were responsible for their own actions. And
I
some
agree.
of them have been prosecuted, and some of them have gotten some years, behind jail. That is not what he told them to do. He just made a speech. They say,
Yeah.
well, he said, let's go take our government back. Well, let's go take our government back could be anything. And
Right.
and then he said, and I did hear him say, and I'm gonna walk up there with you. Well, look,
I heard
come
that.
on.
I
Y'all
heard
know he wasn't.
that.
I mean, you should have
But
used your common sense. You should have known he wasn't walk up there with you because he
yeah.
wasn't president no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Definitely.
If
Yeah.
you're that vulnerable, gullible to believe, uh, something that somebody says until you go jump off the bridge, you're gonna jump off the
Right.
bridge for
Right.
real.
Yeah. Yell aloud and go commit tyranny. Yeah. You're responsible for your own actions and your own mind. Uh,
Ignorance is no defense of the law,
no,
right?
absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. Yeah.
So no, that's why I don't believe Donald. All
Yeah.
he did was gave a speech about how he feel. He was venting,
Right.
and everybody vents.
Yeah.
And of course, he was upset. That's only natural. Am I
Uh-huh.
defending him? No. I'm just telling you, just like a TIT is.
Right.
He was human. He's part of humanity, and that's what we do as part of humanity. We all have vented at one time or another, um,
Absolutely.
many times, and we all have vented when we would maybe not have supposed to have vented at someone. You
Yeah.
know, because we're what human,
Right.
and that's what I'm saying. The humanity element of this nation has disappeared.
Yeah.
It's just vanished. It's not waning. It was waning, but it's not waning anymore. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compared to what, Pearls? Compared to South Korea. South Korea has humanity up at the top of the ladder. People are respectful of each other. People are in unity in that country.
Hmm.
The children have so much knowledge and they hunger for more knowledge, and they go to school and they learn and they make excellent grades. They are experts on technology, experts in the arts and languages, experts in engineering, experts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
All of
exactly what
that
you're saying.
comes from humanity being human, which is what? Supposed to be superior, a superior race. We are not a superior being anymore.
Yeah,
Humanity has disappeared. We're just human. There's no
yeah,
entity anymore.
yeah. And
And
go ahead.
no, you go ahead because we're going to take a
Yeah.
break. When we come back, we get out of here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna say with the leaders that we have in positions today, the country just going to hell in the handbasket right now. It really is. I know people.
Uh-huh.
I feel you all. I feel y'all out there. We seem like we ain't got nobody fighting for us. I
No,
feel you.
no. They can't even take a stance on crime. And
Yeah.
when you can't take, when you got war going on, domestic war, these criminals repeating new
Mm-hmm.
ones
Mm-hmm.
every day. You know, some mornings I
Yeah.
just can't turn on the news simply because I'm frozen. Looks like I can't
No,
turn
you,
on the news
mhm.
simply because I just don't want to that bad news about every morning somebody getting shot, several
Yeah.
people. I
Yeah.
just don't want that to ruin my morning.
Yeah. I don't
Don't,
watch it
don't they
either.
know that ruin your morning when you wake
Yeah.
up? Why do
Yeah.
we say good morning? Because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be good.
Right.
But when you turn on your television and all you hear is all of this killing, shooting,
Yeah.
dead, injured,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
already in a bad mood.
Yeah. I
You're
don't even watch it.
already
I don't
in a
even watch
bad
it
mood.
anymore. I stick to politics shows, the
Yeah.
news.
Yeah, I kind of watch it for about 30 minutes because they all local news always repeat the same thing anyway.
Hmm.
But I watch it for about 30 minutes just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And
I can't.
then I go to my Fox News about
Right.
politics, see
And
what's going on there.
yeah, and I go to
And
Newsweek. Hmm.
then I go to my series, my movies.
We're pretty much on the same page.
On
Hmm.
the same page. But we're gonna take a little break. When we come
Okay.
back, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We'll be back out.
All
Stick
right.
and stay, share this away for us. All right.
What am I gonna get? Ooh, cherries. Oh, okay. How about cherry ice cream? With sprinkles? And maybe a baguette. And a French boy. Bonjour. Ooh la la, baby. You know what I need? Bath bombs. Bombs away! Gotta have Takis. Oh, I need balls. Okay, I'm gonna need some glue. Oh, and a new charger. I can never find those things. And I gotta get flowers for mommy. And a little something for me. Can I get a robe?
All right, we are back again. And bringing back in co host Tim Harrington. All right, so update on the Republican side. Three new additions came in. I don't really know anything about the third one. That's why I don't remember his name. But Chris is getting back in there again. He's tossed his hat in again. You know, he ran during the time when Trump was running.
Yeah.
And also former Vice President Mike Pence has thrown his hat. They are expected to make their announcement either this week or next week. All right.
Okay. Okay.
On the Democrat side, Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. has thrown his hat in for the Democratic against Biden. Now that's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's
that's interesting. Yeah. Given the
that
name.
that's interesting because you know his father was uh, John F. Kennedy, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the one that was assassinated in the 60s.
Yeah.
Now, John F. Kennedy Jr. is probably in his 60s or 50s, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people like the Kennedy family, both, I mean, conservatives, independents, and Democrats. So, uh, do you think, Tim, that the Democratic Party would put or pick JFK Jr. over Biden?
Absolutely, because of the family's name and their status.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself is there's not a lot of families that were in the political field like the Kennedys.
Right.
It just isn't, nor has it been.
Mm-hmm. What
Yeah.
do you think about that, Doug? Oh, Kathy say hope so. That's Kathy. I thought that was Doug coming up. Well, you know, I think that he will make a good candidate.
Yeah.
And the Kennedy family has always had a very high respectability around the world, not just nationally, but around the world. You
Yeah.
know, and that was that bit with his dad, you know, about him and Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
But, you know, back then, it didn't come out to years later, you
Yeah.
know, because news didn't travel that fast like it does now, right?
Right.
But on um, John F. Kennedy Jr., he's clean. He's clean as a whistle all these
Yeah.
years.
You know the
Now,
only
we know of something I know for a fact because, see, I remember when he was a little boy saluting his daddy's casket, okay?
yeah.
And I know that if anybody, after all these years, if anybody try to come up and say something against him, it's a lie. And they can call me and I'll be the first one to tell them
Well,
it's a lie.
here's the only question I would have about him. My biggest question would be, is he cut from the same cloth as they were?
Oh yeah, he's a senator.
Okay.
He's still been in politics. Yeah, he's a senator, so he knows it.
Well, look, whoever they put
Yes, Kathy, Robert Kennedy Jr. is running. It was
the
announced. It was announced today. Yes,
breaking
let's give a
news,
round
Captain.
of applause for him because that does give the Democratic Party some hope. You know, some hope, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I would like to see. Kathy say, "Yay!" I would like to see a debate between Donald and Bob.
Now
I
that would
really
be
would.
interesting.
Because see, even Donald respects him.
Yeah.
Donald can, it ain't nothing bad that Donald can say about Bob.
Yeah, but the only thing about that, it's different once you've done the job before. Yeah,
Well, no, but see, look,
I'm looking.
Donald might be outbalanced here simply because Robert Jr. was born in the politics, man. He been with it.
We
He's
get it.
seen he's seen the left, the right, the middle, the up and the down of it. He knows more about it than Donald does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in a different era. Now the name alone will get him a ticket. You know what I mean?
But he's living in this era. He knows what's going on.
Mm. Well, I guess time will tell.
Be like look like George Porgy
Yeah.
Bush.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
that's all George Bush would say.
yeah.
But
Get on
anybody,
the horse and ride it.
that would have really been funny seeing George Bush in a debate with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know, right? It would have been
Yeah, we got to
interesting.
laugh on that one. Oh, George, I call him George Porgy. If he didn't know the answer to something, all he would say is, well,
Yeah,
well,
get on the horse and ride it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Kathy says she thinks that it would be great to have Robert Jr. Kennedy running.
okay.
And I think it would be great too because now we would really have some competition.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
I see like in that see that I would like to see how that's going to change Donald's stance
yeah,
because he got to change the stance now. I mean, he had it easy going. It was just sliding down a slippery slide with Biden. I mean, you could float on
yeah.
by Biden. But you got some real competition coming your way, down. That's all I got to tell you. And now,
Mhm.
to me, here's a great big old hand clap. To me, politics has really gotten interesting.
Yeah,
Ooh, ooh,
definitely.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, let's get here. Yay! Let's get out of the studio,
Yep.
and I'm gonna be doing some more research and follow up on Robert Jr.,
Yeah.
Robert Kennedy, RFK Jr. He's Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy, and I don't. But I didn't know. I don't know who is he Junior after. I said,
What I
It
mean.
ain't John F.
That's what I
It
mean.
ain't John F.
Yeah.
Um, is
He
that
might be
a
junior of junior. We don't know.
well?
Do
I
we?
mean, I haven't followed it. I haven't been following Kennedy. Now he could be the son of the Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's brother that was serving. He died
Jack?
about 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, okay. You talking about five,
No,
six.
not Jack. He was a heavy set dude.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
I can't think of his name now, but he was a Democratic senator for years too. Now
Well,
that was she said Robert Kennedy. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that was his name. You're right, Kathy. Senator Robert Kennedy. That
okay.
was John's brother. That was
Okay.
President John F. Kennedy's brother.
Right.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Kathy. That is correct.
Mm.
So that's his son. So, but still, he was born into politics
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you something else about his daddy, because I had it mixed up. So let me retract my statement. That's not John F. Kennedy Jr. That's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's
Mm-hmm.
not the one that was a little boy, some 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say this about his father, Senator Robert Kennedy, well respected, clean as a whistle,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I know if anybody come up with something that's negative about him or his father, I'm gonna know straight away it's a lie, and I'll tell everybody it's a lie
Mm.
because I've been following politics for gosh, number of years, and I'm telling you, his daddy was, and he had some backbone. His
Yeah.
Senator Robert Kennedy,
Yeah.
he had some backbone. Now you think
Yeah.
Donald has some backbone? Got backbone? Duh.
Yeah.
You think that Donald got some steel made of steel? You didn't see Robert Kennedy in action up there on the
Yeah.
on the on the hill.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. They say that had a part to play in his demise.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But when you
Yeah.
stand up right, you
Yeah.
always got enemies when you stand up for the right. And he was one that stood up for the right,
Right.
and he
Yeah.
wasn't scared to speak it either.
Right.
And he couldn't be bought, he couldn't be
Hmm.
sold, and he couldn't be bribed.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I say that his son Robert Fitzgerald Jr. bringing some real competition into this race now.
Well, we're
Right,
going to
dog,
see.
and I love it. Now we got some real reporting to do.
All
All
right.
right, last comments today.
Great show, great information. Let's do it again Thursday. Wish everybody love, peace, and happiness, and let's be safe out there.
I say the same thing, and of course, my last word, final comments always include. Remember that free thought is a philosophy and not a policy.
Mhm.
Now I was watching something. It was a movie, and this guy said there's no such thing as free thought. Thought is not free, but it was just a line that was in a movie.
Right.
And then when I thought about it, I said, well, it does have uh, a 2020 catch situation only if you allow it.
Yeah.
Only if you allow it. That's the reason why it is important for everybody to use their own brains. God gave you five senses for a reason.
Right.
One of those reasons is to think for yourself. Do not be whitewashed. Do not be influenced. Do not be bullied. And if you don't know the answer, all you got to do nowadays, thanks to Google, is Google it, right? You can ask Google anything you want to know and find all the answers that you want to, right?
Yep.
Right, Tim?
Oh yeah.
So there's no excuse for ignorance no more. So that's the reason why I still say free thought is a philosophy and not a policy. People can't put a policy on your mind.
Hmm.
This is your
Hmm.
mind up here on your head, all right?
Yep.
That's our time when we had a great one too. So we'll
Yeah.
see y'all. Time for us to go. Good night, everybody.
Good
We love
night.
you.
Good night.